Over a month of testimony and 50 witnesses called to the stand. Now, the trial involving the United States versus Robert Kelly is winding down. I'm joined by former R. Kelly attorney Stephen Greenberg. Welcome to BNC Live, sir. It's a pleasure to have you. When can we expect a verdict?
R. Kelly in the case, the federal case here in Illinois, as well as the Illinois state cases. So former's a little premature, as they say. I don't know when we're going to get a verdict in this case. The defense is going to argue this afternoon. The prosecution, I suspect, will argue tomorrow and probably take another 2 or 3 hours. They've already gone on for 6 hours. And then the question is whether the judge is going to want to give the case to the jury on a Friday afternoon and whether the defense is going to jump up and down to prevent that from happening. I would never want a case like this to go out to a jury on a Friday afternoon.
Why?
And it's also unclear if she's going to sequester the jurors.
Why is that? Why would you not
want
the case?
Well, she just hasn't announced what.
No, I'm sorry. Why would you not want the case to go to the jury on a Friday?
Well, you never want a case, whether you think you're winning or you're losing, you never want a case to go to the jury where they're sort of going to feel that pressure to get out for the weekend. Now, if the judge is going to sequester the jurors, it's less of a concern because then she'll bring them in to deliberate on Saturday. But if she's not going to do that, you don't want them to start talking about the case, and I don't expect that they're going to reach a verdict very quickly. So you don't want them to start talking about the case and then go home and individually sleep on it for the weekend. That's just dangerous.
How unique is this trial, Attorney Greenberg?
I think it's a complete abuse of the RICO statute. So in that regard, it's unique. You know, what the prosecutors told the jurors in closing argument, and I think this is legally incorrect, was that as long as R. Kelly had people around him, because an enterprise can be formal or informal, it doesn't have to be an actual business structure. So as long as he had these people around him, and there were others, that anything he did individually can satisfy the RICO predicate acts. Basically, what the prosecutors are arguing to this jury is that anybody that has friends, anybody that has family, anybody that associates with other people and commits a crime is violating RICO. And I just think that's totally improper.
All right, Attorney Greenberg, you were a long-standing attorney with R. Kelly prior to asking a judge to be removed from the case. Why?
Well, I don't want to get into what led up to that or problems we had within the defense. I will say that I think some of it has been borne out during the trial where things weren't done and witnesses weren't lined up and so forth. Let's see what happens here, and then we'll address those things if need be.
So how do you think R. Kelly's defense was?
Well, again, I don't want to comment on it at this point. I haven't read all the transcripts. I'm sure that Mr. Canick did his best, as I have said. I think that going into it with Nicole and Tom, he was going into it with 2 hands tied behind his back. This is a case that required 3, 4, 5 dedicated, hardworking, knowledgeable, and talented attorneys, and he got 1 or 2.
Yeah, there were reports that the attorneys that he was left with were inexperienced. This is a big,
well, they were,
big case.
But again, let's see what happens. If he wins the case, then everything he did was right. If he loses the case, then I suspect that he'll get counsel and he'll revisit some of the things that have gone on.
Will you represent him in the other cases that he still has pending in the other states?
I do represent him in the other cases.
Can you tell us about that?
And we'll continue to do so, sure.
So what's next? Once this case is wrapped up, he still has 2 other cases that are pending, court cases, correct?
Well, you've got a few different scenarios. Let's say that he is found guilty. Obviously, if he's found guilty, he remains in New York pending sentencing. He's looking at a lot of time. If he were to get, 20 years or something like that, who knows if the prosecutors in any of the other jurisdictions would want to go ahead with the case. If he's acquitted in New York, then I suspect the next case will be the federal case in Chicago we're prepared to fight that case and we're going to litigate that case and we're going to do it properly and professionally. He's also got 4 pending cases here in the state of Illinois. All of those cases, I was confident we were going to secure not guilty verdicts for him on those cases. I'm still convinced of that. But again, they're sort of last in time, and so they're going to wait and see what happens on the 2 federal cases. The other thing playing into this, and I know it gets a little complicated, is there's a lot of overlap between all of this. So there are double jeopardy concerns all around.
How much time is he looking at, Attorney Greenberg?
Well, in the case in New York, it sort of depends on what the jury finds. The jury needs to find under a U.S. Supreme Court case called Apprendi versus New Jersey certain things to change the sentencing parameters. Basically, RICO's got a maximum of 20 years unless the underlying crime carries more, and then you could get up to life. We'll see what the jury does. The charges here in Illinois, again, very similar, depending on what the jury were to find. They could have a maximum of 10 years, or otherwise they could have a maximum stretching into the decades.
Yeah, he's facing 22 federal charges.
Right, but that quantity doesn't mean anything. You know, I get a murder case and somebody is charged with the same murder 7 different ways. It's still one murder. It's the same thing here. He's charged with one crime. If he's found guilty on every count in the New York case, they're all encompassed by the first count. So we shouldn't get caught up in the number of different counts that he's facing. The cases are problematic because the law of averages, obviously, it's difficult. Most people don't win their federal cases. We have a winning record in federal court, but that's unusual. And I'm not trying to sound cocky, it's just unusual. So, the law of averages of beating one federal case is very difficult. The law of averages on beating 2 federal cases is exponentially more difficult, and then add in the other state cases, and your Vegas odds get very small.
All right, Attorney Greenberg, thank you so much. We really appreciate you carving out time for us this afternoon to be here.